Good evening, and we're called this meeting to order, the regular meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. Tonight is Monday, March 21st, 2022, and we ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll.
Mayor Ogle?
Here.
Trustee Ledden? Here. Trustee Severia? Here. Trustee Farina? Here. Trustee Petro? Here. Trustee Borelli? Here. Trustee Rossi? Here. Attorney Lamore? Present. Chief Ch.6? Here. Village Administrator Pisha? Here. Assistant Administrator Barica? Present. And Clerk Schubert is here.
Thank you, Clerk. If not, everyone would stand, please, and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item on here is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on this consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if any trustees would like to consider any of these items and remove them from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Farina, second by Trustee Petro. We are going to go through each of these items that are on here so that those who are in the audience, those who will be watching at home or on YouTube channel, understand what it is that we are voting on. Also on our website, the draft of our packets, everything that the board is getting and that we're voting on and discussing is available right there on the website, as well as the agenda. So the next item on here is the approval of the minutes from the March 7th, 2022 meeting, and if there are no changes to it, we will go on to Trustee Savaria for the approval of the bills.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The bills this month equal $1,395,765.45. Some line items of interest making up this total are $180 to Aurelia's Pizza for the Dare Pizza Party, $1,760.75 to Local Printing and Design for Dare T-shirts, $87,366.41 to Curry Motors for the purchase of 2 new trucks, and finally $436.20 to Park Ace Hardware for various supplies. That's my report.
Thank you, Trustee Savaria. Now we go to a committee of the whole report, and we'll start with Trustee Farina.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. The first item is Route 30 Contractual Lawn Mowing Program Bid Approval Resolution. At its March 7th, 2022 meeting, the Committee of the Whole reviewed 5 bids received for the 2022-2023 Route 30 Contractual Lawn Mowing Program. The low bid for the 2-year contract was submitted by Romero Guzman Landscaping to provide regular mowing and landscape bed maintenance services on Route 30 Parkway medians for the 2022 and 2023 mowing seasons. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to accept the low bid and award the contract to Romero Guzman Landscaping. The motion before us this evening is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a 2-year contract with Romero Guzman Landscaping Incorporated for the 2022-2023 Route 30 Contractual Lawn Mowing Program for an annual cost of $60,706.36. And that is all, Mayor Ogle.
Thank you, Trustee Farina. And now we go to Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. This was a hot topic during our Student Government Day lunch today. So the Rough Cut Lot Maintenance Program Bid Approval Resolution. At the Committee of the Whole, we also reviewed 2 bids received for rough cut lot mowing services at various vacant properties throughout the village. The low bid for the 2-year contract was submitted by Bill's Lawn Maintenance at a cost of 4 cents per square foot for lot maintenance services for the 2022 and 2023 mowing seasons. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to accept the low bid and award the contract to Bill's Lawn Maintenance and Landscaping. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a 2-year contract with Bill's Lawn Maintenance and Landscaping for the 2022-2023 Rough Cut Lot Maintenance Program at the rate of 4 cents per square foot for lot maintenance services.
Thank you, trustee. And now we will go to trustee Rossi for another item from the Committee of the Whole report.
Software as a Service Agreement, BSA Resolution. The committee also reviewed a software as a service agreement with Bellafuel, Sewer, and Associates, BSA, for the implementation and use of an enterprise resource planning system. The village currently utilizes individual standalone systems and databases which provide limited functionality. The new cloud-based ERP system is designed specifically for local government and integrates essential financial and operational functions. The agreement sets the terms and conditions under which BSA will furnish certain software as a service and professional service to the Village of Frankfort in an amount not to exceed $300,000, which includes all costs associated with the implementation of the new ERP system, including the first year's annual service fees. It was a consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to enter into the software as a service agreement with BSA. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the committee of a whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of a software and a service agreement between Bellafuel, Sewer, and Associates and the Village of Frankfort for the implementation and use of an enterprise resource planning system.
Thank you, trustee Rossi. Now we'll go to trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the last item for the Committee of the Whole was the Statement of Work Agreement with Invoice Cloud Incorporated resolution. The committee also reviewed a proposal from Invoice Cloud, Inc. to provide customer engagement, electronic bill presentment, and electronic bill payment services. The Invoice Cloud platform will give the village and its customers the ability to accept online payments for invoiced and non-invoiced items in a securely hosted real-time environment. Customers will be able to locate, view, and print bills and payment records online, as well as allow for a more user-friendly application to sign up for paperless billing. Invoice Cloud maintains an integration with BSA software system, providing for a more seamless implementation process. It was the consensus of the committee to forward a recommendation to the village board to accept the proposal from Invoice Cloud Incorporated. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and adopt a resolution authorizing the execution of the Statement of Work Agreement and Biller Agreement between Invoice Cloud, Inc. and the Village of Frankfort for customer engagement, electronic bill presentment, and electronic bill payment services. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Ledden. Those were all the items on the unanimous consent agenda. We have a motion and a second on there. Is there any discussion further by the board? Trustee Petro?
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. I just wanted to call out that 2 items that were on the consent agenda were some long-term items that the staff had been continuing to look at. We have talked about our technology for some time, and I think COVID actually shined a light on how instrumental it is within our village government. So this, installation of the new ERP system was really vetted out by staff, and a lot of hours spent working on what we exactly needed at the Village of Frankfort, and it's going to provide our residents with some more user-friendly options and be able to see what's happening in real time. So just a shout out to the staff for all their work on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other questions about these items, we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Severia? Yes. Trustee Farina? Yes. Trustee Petro? Yes. Trustee Borelli? Yes. Trustee Rossi? Yes. And Trustee Ledden?
Yes. All right, thank you. Those motion carries. The next item on here is what's called the Mayor's Report. Today was Student Government Day. We just completed that. Starting early this morning, the 8th grade students from Hickory Creek Middle School participated in the annual Student Government Day. The day began at 8:30 here at the Village Administration Building with a tour of the offices. The students visited the fire department, the police station, and wastewater treatment plant. A lunch was provided at Aurelio's restaurant, and then they went on to the Public Works garage. Prior to our regular board meeting tonight, the students held a mock board meeting. They did an excellent job. We were all very impressed by their questions and their excellent participation. We want to thank 157C Superintendent Doug Warnett, Principal Tricia Dotson, and Teacher Tara O'Hay for their cooperation and assistance in preparing the students for this day. Also, Sue Lynchy from the village and our village board and staff for supporting this initiative and partnership between the village and the school system. The Spring on the Green event was held yesterday, Sunday, March 30th at Brighter Green. This was moved from being a winter event, Winter on the Green. We made some changes to the event structure to try to get better attendance, and the weather cooperated yesterday, and it was, what I understand was a tremendous turnout. The event was co-sponsored by the Village of Frankfort and the Frankfort Park District. Family and friends enjoyed an afternoon featuring DJ music, kid-friendly games, balloon artists, and much more. Thank you for everyone who came out to the Spring on the Green, and a special thank you goes out to all the volunteers who assisted with this event. And this basically leads us now into our spring events with the country market, which I believe will be our next major thing starting. And spring has officially sprung, which means yard work surfaces on many people's to-do list. The village's 2022 branch collection program will begin on April 4th and will continue through mid-October. Brush pickup is intended for the disposal of tree limbs and branches that are removed by the property owner for normal maintenance and upkeep. Only branches that are 1 inch in diameter or larger will be collected. Smaller material does not go through the equipment properly and must be placed in paper yard waste bags for collection by New Way, which will also begin on April 4th. Each bag must have a yard waste sticker affixed to it. Residents are asked to place branches in the parkway by 7 a.m. on Mondays with cut ends facing out towards the street. For more information about Frankfort's branch pickup and collection program, visit the village website or call the Public Works Department or 469-2177. Will County Green is offering a free year-round electronic recycling drop-off program. Year-round electronic recycling is available on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Frankfort Township Building, which is the green building at 11,000 West Lincoln Highway, and it's up for our area residents. There is a limit of 2 televisions per vehicle and an ID required to prove your Will County residency. We did make mention tonight, we did approve these software items, the enterprise resource planning systems. These are very important initiatives. These are things that were very important. We have this reputation as a Mayberry town, an old world charm, even 1890s charm goes back, but we are a modern village. We're operated in these ways, and these bring efficiencies and also customer interface things that will be very important, and this is a very exciting step for us as a village. And that is all. This concludes the mayor's report for tonight, and we will go to our board comments, and we will start with our clerk, Katie Schubert.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Beginning next Wednesday, March 30th, that will be the first day that voters can begin making their vote by mail requests for the primary elections that will be held on June 28th. So those can be made to the Will County Clerk's office online, in person, or by mail. And that is all, Mayor Ogle.
Thank you, clerk. Trustee Ledden.
I would just like to apologize to those who participated in the Student Government Day, since I wasn't here on time. So I guess the lesson to be learned is read your emails clearly instead of thinking you know what you're doing. So I apologize for missing it, and I appreciate all those who participated in it.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Savaria.
Nothing this evening. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Farina.
Thanks, Mayor Ogle. I'll make up for it, Jean. First of all, congratulations to the students who participated in Student Government Day. It's always lovely to see them here and have them participate and learn about their government. Also, shout out to Sue Lynchy, who organized the event. I know Mayor Ogle, you helped lead, as well as Trustee Borelli, who was at Hickory Creek, I believe, to teach the children about government and such. So that's wonderful. I also want to congratulate the DARE program graduates. I understand Officer Riff hosted a pizza party for them at Chelsea, and maybe you can share more in your report about it, which is exciting. And then I too want to acknowledge John Barica and our Assistant Village Administrator, and Jenny Booth, our Finance Director, for the work they've done to modernize our financial system and help improve customer service, as well as all of our staff who participated in leading up to our decision. So very nice, and I hope that our residents appreciate that. And then the final thing is, I just had one question, and that is our annual events calendar. We normally approve it in December, And I've had some questions about the homeowners association meeting as well as the village open house. I'm wondering if those are scheduled, and if so, when, and if we can have a copy of the events, if we have them listed.
They have not been scheduled yet.
No? Okay. Are we planning to host the homeowners association meeting?
It was canceled last year because of COVID. We're looking at perhaps doing a State of the Village address this year. That'll be similar, but it hasn't been planned yet.
And then will we approve the calendar of events like we have in the past for years?
Yes, we
Okay.
would do that.
Okay, excellent. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Petro.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. What a fun day. You mentioned student government, and I really enjoyed the conversation and the questions and the insights that often come from our youth. So it inspires me to think back around what we can do to continue to, bring in our youth, bring in our residents. And so I'll just put a last shout out that we are still seeking applications for a new plan commissioner. So if anyone is interested, please don't hesitate to reach out to staff or the board for their perspectives on that. And thank you to all that organized and helped participate with Student Government Day. They did a really nice job tonight.
Okay. Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to thank the 8th graders from Hickory Creek. They did a wonderful job today with Student Government Day. It is definitely my favorite board meeting of the year, so great job to all of them. Thank you to staff, Sue, staff from 157C, Mrs. O'Hay, great job, and thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Trustee Burley. Trustee Rossi.
Okay, I guess it'll be the same message, a little bit different maybe. I want to say it was my first Student Government Day, and I was very impressed with it. The school does such a great job. These kids were wonderful. We sitting at lunch talking to them was quite an eye-opener. They're really, really, for 13-year-olds, I was very impressed with it. And again, the staff did a great job, Sue and whoever else helped with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Rossi. Now we'll go to our village administrator, Rob Pisha, for the administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm also going to be redundant. I also want to congratulate the students on Student Government Day. It is amazing every year to see them participate. It's just great to know what our community is going to be in the future with the way that they were willing to participate and the questions that they ask. And the school does a great job of preparing them, and again, just a wonderful event and seeing our youth participate in the program. Also, just excited about the fact that as we're moving towards finalizing Phase 1 and for Pfeiffer Road Extension, we're hoping that in the near future here in the spring, we'll be going out to bid and hopefully have some construction started sometime this year to extend Pfeiffer Road from Route 30 up to Colorado. That'll be a great addition to the community. It'll also provide a bike path that will go along the roadway, so it'll be a connection for those residents that are on the north side of the community to be able to connect into the Old Plank Road Trail and get into the downtown. So excited about seeing that progressing forward. So hopefully we'll have some progress on that as the spring and summer comes along. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Rob. And we'll go to our police chief for the police department report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, as discussed, you heard in our bills that we have some DARE expenses because it is the last week of DARE. So I want to give a shout out to Officer Riff for all of his amazing work on the 5th grade Chelsea School DARE program. He does a great job every day when he's at the school, but he puts a lot of work into the DARE program. So this Thursday, the 24th, they will have their pizza party and their graduation. We want to thank 157C for their partnership in this. In addition, the FSP, the Family School Partnership, they also sponsor the DARE program. So we want to thank them for doing that every year. As the weather gets nicer and everyone starts doing spring cleaning, we want to remind our residents that we do have a prescription take-back program. So in the police department lobby, you can drop off unused, expired medication. We recommend that everyone removes labels from prescription bottles, and we do not take liquids or needles, but otherwise feel free to drop them off, whatever. It's been a great success, and we always have a very full box when they come to pick up the prescriptions. Lastly, I do just want to also say that I got to do a tour today with the Hickory Creek students, and their questions were really good and very thoughtful, and they were mature, and it was an honor to be with them for the day, so I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. And now to our attorney, Hannah Lamore.
No report tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Any other business before the board?
That the RFP proposals were due back, and I was just curious if we had an update, if we had received a number of them?
Yes, we have 4 different ones. They are sealed, so I don't have the contents of them, but we did receive 4 proposals today.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you. Any other business? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go to what's called public comment, and anyone who'd like to make a comment before the board tonight, please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Edith Lutz. I just wanted to bring up the fact that on the 13th, it was a Sunday, I was in the middle of a shower and our water on the block got turned off because there was a water main issue. No one knocked on our door, nobody rang the doorbell to inform us. My husband actually found out when he heard them backing out the backhoe off the equipment, and he was like, "What's that noise?" And I was in the middle of the shower, and he goes, "Oh, you're not gonna have," and I'm like, "I have no water now." So if we could somehow like let the people know before you guys shut the water off so that we could take care of whatever we're doing, or give us a little bit of a notice instead of just not being able to have it. It's happened multiple times. It's not like it's the first time it's happened that they've done this to us. So I just wanted to bring it up that maybe we could have some help with the situation. So thank you.
All right, but thank you. We'll definitely try to do better and make sure that people are notified, even in these emergencies. Is there anyone else who would like to come before the board make a public comment? Okay. The next item that we have on here is an adjournment to an executive session. It'll be to discuss personnel under 5 ILCS 120/2 C1. There will be no actions taken by the board when we come back after the executive session, and that would be the adjournment of the meeting. So at this point, I ask for a motion and a second to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
That was Trustee Savaria and Trustee Borelli. Any discussion? All right, then we'll go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Farina? Yes. Trustee Petro? Yes. Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi? Yes. Trustee Ledden? Yes. And Trustee Severia?
Okay, thank you. We'll be going into executive session. Like I mentioned before, we will not be taking any action when we come back out other than to do an adjournment.